today's video, we're going to talk about section size and density of clients' hair. So there are so many reasons why these two things are so important. We have two bead sizes in Grace hand tied that we use. We have our 4mm bead size, which is used for extremely fine to fine textured hair. And then we have our 5mm bead size, which is used for our clients that have just normal to coarse density. So the reason why we use these two sizes is that we have found anything smaller than 4mm is not going to give you enough hair in the bead to support the weft. So these are our two standard sizes. When we are using the 4mm bead size, we want to take smaller sections and put in more beads. When we're working with finer texture, we want to make sure that we have enough support to hold the weight of the wefts. So this looks like taking smaller section sizes in width. So your section sizes are still going to be rectangular, they're just not going to be as wide, and we're going to put in more beads. This is going to aid in more support in handling the weight of the wefts for your client's hair. Now, when it comes to having fine and very, very fine textured hair, we do not recommend putting more than 4 wefts on each row. If they have very, very baby fine hair, we recommend doing more rows and less wefts on each row. So if the client would like a ton of hair, we recommend doing 3 rows instead of 2 and putting 4 pieces on each row to achieve the length and fullness the client desires. Putting too much hair on your client's row is going to cause way too much heaviness, and it's going to cause breakage, and it's going to cause uncomfortableness within the client's extension wear. That is something we absolutely want to avoid. Clients are coming to us because they have pain points with their hair, and we're supposed to be helping with that and not making it worse. So by utilizing more rows and less wefts, we're going to create the least amount of damage possible. Now, when it comes to our standard application, we can still use the 4mm bead if desired, but I really do recommend using the 5mm bead. That's going to allow us to take the proper amount of hair. It's going to allow the hair to fit in the bead size itself, and it's going to work beautifully with your client's hair. Now, when it comes to wefts per row for normal to coarse texture, I definitely think that you can do anywhere from 4 to 7 wefts of hair. Really, 7 is pushing it. That is for someone who has extremely healthy scalp and extremely strong hair. So utilizing maybe 4 to 6 is the most standard option that we have. And then making sure that if you're going to do 7 to add that fullness, the really only reason why we do that is that we'll put that in the top row and we'll cut away to create layers so there's enough hair on the head to create the haircut that your client desires. Essentially, we are using 7 wefts, but we're cutting away at that length to release some of that weight, so it's not necessarily heavier because the length is gone. Now I'm going to touch base on one more thing with our fine, fragile ladies. Longer lengths are not going to work because that's so much weight on the hair. So for our fine textured hair, I really do not recommend going any longer than 20 inches. 18 I think would be ideal in standard because the longer the hair, the heavier, and the heavier the hair, the more damaging it could possibly be. So please keep that in mind. And then definitely utilizing your bead size will make a huge difference in your business. I know we talk about this in the class, but I just wanted to touch base on this because there are students who have not experienced some of our new education, and I just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of that. So if you have any questions about bead size or any questions about how to utilize or section size, how many wefts we put on a row, please feel free to reach out and I would love to help you with that.